Okay, good morning everyone. Today we will discuss about a new subject, VLSI design. This is Amarendra, Assistant Professor of EC Department, CGIT Jangam. Let's go start. VLSI design. So VLSI design, it is nothing but VLSI stands for very large scale integration. Before we going for this topic, we must know about the basic fundamental concept of what is IC, what are the advantages of ICs, what are the advantages of ICs, what are the drawbacks of ICs. So coming to first one is the what is meant by IC. So IC is nothing but integrated circuit. It is a combination of active components as well as the passive components. It is a combination of active components as well as the passive components. Okay, what are those active components and passive components? Active components is the transistors, okay, passive components the resistors, capacitors. So here IC is nothing but it is a integrated circuit. It is a combination of active and passive components which is integrated on a single chip. So that is called as a IC. Okay, next one is the why we can go for the IC. What are the advantages of ICs? So the main advantage of IC is it is a physically extremely small. This is the main advantage for IC. And next one is the physically extremely it is very small, and next one is the safety, and next one is the more reliable, and next one is the need to high operating speed. So this is the main advantage of ICs. So and next one is the what are the drawbacks of ICs. So the main drawbacks of IC, because of integrated circuit is a very delicate chip, so very delicate device, so it will be operating on the minimum limited power. So that's why this is the main drawbacks of IC. So all those advantages will be considered in the fabrication process, because of our VLSI is completely related to the IC technology. Whenever we can go for the VLSI design, we have to go for the different kinds of fabrication process will be there. So that fabrication process are okay, PMOS technology, NMOS technology, CMOS technology, BiCMOS technology. So these all those are the fabrication process. All those fabrication process we are using the ICs. So that's why we can go for the we know about the what is meant by IC, what are the advantages of ICs and what are the drawbacks of ICs. So let's go. Before going for this fabrication process, we must know about the basic fundamental concepts of MOS transistors. So before we going for MOS transistors, some little knowledge about the what are the evaluation of VLSI design. So let us discuss about the evaluation of VLSI design. Evaluation of VLSI. Evaluation of VLSI design. So evaluation of VLSI design is completely depending upon the complexity. It is completely depending upon the complexity. So complexity will be classified into different types. First complexity is the SSI. So this is the first one, and second one is the MSI. Okay, third one is the LSI, and fourth one is the VLSI, and fifth one is the ULSI. So this is the classifications of complexity. So small scale integration. So small scale integration, here complexity is depending upon the number of transistors. So complexity is depending upon the number of transistors. Suppose we have to take the small scale integration, so in that we have to take the only 10 transistors. Okay, in that we have to take the only 10 transistors will be integrated on a single chip. So next one is the medium scale integration. Here we have to consider the 10 to 100 transistors will be considered and it will be integrated on a single chip. So and next one is the large scale integration. Here we have to consider the 100 to 10,000 of transistors will be integrated on a single chip. So here VLSI is nothing but 10,000 to 1 lakh transistors can be integrated on a single chip. So next one is the ULSI technology 1 lakh to 10 lakhs. So this is the simple evaluation of VLSI design. So this is the very important because of these all those will be considered as a Moore's law. So this is the Moore's law. Moore's law is completely related to the VLSI design. Moore's law, according to Moore's law, is nothing but every year number of transistors per increased on a chip. So that is the concept of Moore's law. So according to Moore's law, we have to implement, increasing our transistor chip. So here our concept is the VLSI design. Our subject is the VLSI design. So in that VLSI is nothing but very large scale integration. It is a combination of active components and passive components. Because of here whatever we have to take the VLSI is the integrated circuit. So it is a combination of active components, passive components. What are those here? We have to take the transistors, resistors and capacitors. So here we have to take the transistors. How many number of transistors will be considered in the VLSI design? 10,000 to 1 lakh transistors can be integrated on a single chip. In that case we have to go for the VLSI design in semiconductor application. This is the main important application of VLSI design. So this is the simple evaluation of VLSI design. Before we going for VLSI concepts, we must know about the basic fundamental of MOS transistors. So because of every MOS transistor, here we have to go for the different kinds of PMOS, NMOS, CMOS, BiCMOS fabrication process will be there. Every fabrication process will be including in the MOS transistor. So that's why we have to go for the first concept is the MOS transistors. MOS transistors. So what is meant by MOS transistor? Why we have to go for the MOS transistors in implemented in the VLSI design? So before we going for MOS transistor, we must know about the basic fundamental of materials. So materials are classified into three types. Materials are classified into three types. What are those? First one is conductors, second one is insulators, third one is semiconductors. So listen here, materials are classified into three types. First one is conductors, insulators and semiconductors. So conductors is nothing but which allows the electricity. We have to take the best example is copper. And next one is the insulator, which does not allows the electricity. Best example is wood. And next one semiconductor, it is acting like a both conductors as well as insulators. So here the semiconductor is the best example is the silicon and germanium. So the semiconductors are the best example is silicon and germanium. Why we can go for the semiconductor is nothing but so MOS, metal oxide semiconductors. So that's why we can go for the what are the basic classifications of material. First one is conductors and second one is insulators and next one is the semiconductors. So in that we have to go for the semiconductors. Semiconductors is the example of silicon and germanium. Semiconductors again classified into two types. So this one is intrinsic semiconductors and next one is the extrinsic semiconductors. Semiconductors are classified into two types. First one is intrinsic semiconductor, second one is extrinsic semiconductor. What is meant by intrinsic semiconductor? So intrinsic semiconductor is nothing but it is a purest form of material, so it will be calling as a intrinsic semiconductors. So extrinsic semiconductor is nothing but it is a impurity form. Impurity form is nothing but we can adding the some materials to the extrinsic semiconductor, because of by the name itself extrinsic is there. Externally we can adding some impurities to the your original material, so that is called as a extrinsic semiconductor. Extrinsic semiconductor again classified into two types. That one is the p type materials and n type materials. Okay, extrinsic semiconductors again classified into two types, p type material and n type materials. So p type material, n type material, why we can go for the this one is already in VLSI design PMOS technology is there. So this p type is related to the PMOS technology. So and next one is the NMOS technology is there. So that is the n type material we have to prefer. And next fabrication process is the CMOS technology is there. Okay, CMOS is nothing but complementary metal oxide semiconductor. The complementary metal oxide semiconductor, it will be consisting of the PMOS as well as the NMOS. So and next one is the BiCMOS technology. So these all those are the fabrication process in VLSI technology. So that's why before we going for this fabrication process, we must know about the basic concepts of this one, because of what are the materials are classified into. Okay, classified into three types. Okay, what are those? Conductors, insulators and semiconductors. And semiconductors again it will be classified into two types, intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor is nothing but it is the purest form of your original material, and extrinsic semiconductor is nothing but p type and n type material. Extrinsic is nothing but externally we can adding some impurities. Okay, whatever we can adding the impurities will be calling as a doping. This is the very important concept in the VLSI design, because of every fabrication process we have to use the doping process. In every fabrication process we have to go for the doping. What is meant by doping? So actually doping is nothing but the process of adding impurities to the original material will be calling as a doping. So by using doping process we can adding the some impurities to the your fabrication process. In that case we have to go for the doping process. So this is very important. And next one we can go for the MOS transistors. So this is the MOS transistors. MOS transistor is nothing but simply it will be calling as a MOSFET. So MOSFET. So metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistors. Actually before we going for MOSFET, okay, we know about the FET. Okay, this is nothing but field effect transistor. FET are classified into two types, JFET and MOSFET. Okay, but in our application we have to take the MOSFET. So now we will discuss about only MOSFET. So FET is nothing. What is meaning of FET? Field effect transistor. Nothing but whenever the electric field will be effect on the transistor, some parameters will be changed. What are those parameters? Okay, GM, okay, transconductance is there, okay, conductance is there, GD is there, okay, figure of merit is there, okay, all those parameters will be changed. So in that case we have to go for the FET application in the every fabrication process. What are those fabrication process? PMOS technology, NMOS technology, CMOS technology, BiCMOS technology. All those, okay, all those it is commonly related to the MOS. Okay, this is MOS, NMOS, CMOS, okay, CMOS, that is completely related to the, okay, MOS applications. So that's why we have to go for the field effect transistors, because of every field effect transistor will be having the 4 terminals. This is also very important. Okay, 4 terminals. 4 terminals is nothing but what are those? First one is the gate, second one is the source, third one is the drain, fourth one is the body. So these four terminals is having the FET. Because of, we can go for the second unit in VLSI design, basic VLSI design process and basic electrical properties of devices. We have to consider all those terminals. So because of, suppose in some cases we have to take the VGS. VGS is nothing but gate to source voltage, and VDS will be also considered, that is drain to source. So this is the basic fundamentals of VLSI design. Okay, these all those are the basic fundamental of VLSI design. So before now let us discuss about in VLSI design what are those chapters will be there. Okay, I will discuss now. In VLSI design, unit 1, first one is introduction to IC technology. Okay, unit 1, first one is the introduction to IC technology. In that introduction to IC technology, concepts are MOS transistors. Already just now we have to discuss MOS transistors. And what are the fabrication process? Okay, PMOS, NMOS, CMOS, BiCMOS. All those topics will be introduced in the introduction of IC technology, unit 1. So and next, what are those concepts? So in that unit 1 we have to consider the basic electrical properties. Basic electrical properties. So basic electrical properties. So what are the electrical properties we have to consider in the MOS applications? So in that we have to go for the first one is the IDS versus VDS. So this is the very important. So this is the derivation point of view. Okay, is there in your subject. So IDS versus VDS is nothing but drain to source current. Okay, drain to source voltage. Already just now we have to discuss the FET having the four terminals. Sorry, first one is the gate. Okay, source and drain, and next one is the body. So gate. We have to take the drain, VDS is there. Okay, IDS versus VDS, source to drain voltage, source to drain current. So this is the derivation point of view is very important. This one is also one of the topic in basic electrical properties of devices, MOS devices. And in this we have to go for the GM. Already just now we have to discuss transconductors. So what are the components? Field effect transistor. Whenever the electricity applied to the your transistor, automatically the parameters will be changed. What are those parameters? Already we have to discuss. First one is the GM and GD, and next one is the figure of merit. Figure of merit. All those parameters is there. Okay, in that basic electrical properties. And next one here we have to go for the NMOS inverters. NMOS inverters is there. So already we know that inverters is nothing but it is a, suppose this is there. Okay, 0 1 1 0. So already this is the basic logic gates. Already inverter is there. So in that inverter is nothing but whenever the input is given to the 0, we can get the output side is 1. Whenever the input is 1, output side is 0. So because of NMOS inverter, here we have to consider the depending upon the switching functions. We have to go for the switching function, we have to go for the NMOS inverter. And here we have to also consider the CMOS inverters. CMOS inverters. CMOS inverters is nothing but, already we have to discuss just now, CMOS is a combination of PMOS as well as the NMOS technology. So PMOS technology, NMOS technology, what is there? Okay, we can implement it in the CMOS technology. So and next one is the various pull-ups. Various pull-ups. Various pull-ups is nothing but, suppose NMOS inverter driven to another another NMOS inverter, one NMOS inverter to the more number of NMOS inverter. We have to derive the some pull-up equations in the this chapter. This concept. And next one, this is the entire first unit. And coming to second unit. Okay, coming to second unit, unit 2, VLSI design circuit process. So in VLSI design circuit process, okay, what are those we have to consider in the concept? This is the very important, because of in that we have to consider the first one is the VLSI design flow. VLSI design flow is the basic concepts. In that VLSI design flow, basically we have to starting onwards we have to take the some specifications of IC, and next we have to go for the schematic diagram, and next we have to go for the capture, and next we have to go for the schematic, and next one is the simulation, next one is the physical design, and next one and next one is the fabrication, and next one is the packaging. All those concepts will be included in the VLSI design concept. VLSI design flow is there. So we have to discuss over the latter. And next concept is the mass layers. Mass layers. So mass layers is nothing but here we have to go for the some representation is will be there, because of here this unit we have to consider the stick diagrams and layout diagrams will be there. So according to stick diagram, layout diagram, we can go for the mass layers. So and next one is the stick diagrams. Okay, next one is the layout diagrams. Okay, so in layout diagrams, this layout diagrams is completely depending upon the rules, design rules. Design rules. So what are those design rules we have to implement in the layout design? So this one is the lambda based design rule, and micron based rules. So these design rules are implemented in the layout diagrams. This is also very important. In unit 2, completely it is related to the stick diagrams and layout diagrams. Layout diagrams, stick diagrams especially used for the we have to designing of floor planning. Okay, because of where the transistors will be connected, where the resistors will be connected, where the metallic devices will be connected, where the polysilicon is deposited, all those will be these stick diagrams and layout diagrams. So in unit 2 we have to consider the stick diagrams and layout diagrams. This is the very important in the second chapter. And next one is the unit 3. Okay, unit 3 is the gate level design. This is very important. In gate level design especially we have to use for the logic gates. So this is the basic concepts. Okay, gate level design we have to go for the logic gates. So already we know that logic gates are different types is there. Okay, and next one is the AND gate, OR gate, XOR gate, NOR gate, NAND gate. Okay, all those logical gates will be implemented in the gate level design. And next one is the, so here we have to go for the SRAM. Okay, and next one is the DRAM. Okay, next one is the logic gates. Okay. So memory design. Okay, so all those topics will be considered in the gate level design, because of here we have to go for the so in logical gates. Okay, and next one here we have to implement it in the adders. Okay, and next one is the shifters. Okay, next one is the multipliers. Okay, all those concepts will be implemented in the gate level design. These concepts will be implemented in the unit 3. And next one is the subsystem Unit 4, data path subsystem design. Okay, this is the unit 4, data path subsystem design. In that we have to go for the memory design. Okay, memory designs. What are the memories? SRAM is there, okay, DRAM is there, okay, and next one is the ALU is there. Okay, all those concepts will be in the data path subsystem. Okay, subsystem is nothing but by using this subsystem we have to designing the one system. So that's why data path subsystem will be included in the all those topics. Memory design will be there. Suppose we have to take the SRAM, how to design the SRAM and DRAM, okay, by using switching capacitors will be. In this also we have to go for the switching capacitors is there, wiring capacitors is there, fan in will be there, fan out will be there. All those concepts will be implemented in the data path subsystem. This is the 4th unit. And next one is the unit 5, programmable logic devices. Programmable logic devices. So this is the very important scope in semiconductor devices, because in programmable logic devices we have to consider the programmable logic array, okay, programmable logic controller, and next one is the CPLD, okay, and next one is the SPLD, okay, next one is the FPGA. So these topics will be included in the programmable logic devices. PLA, this is the programmable logic array is there, programmable logic controller, okay, complex programmable logic devices, simplex programmable logic devices, field programmable gate arrays. Because of whatever we have to study in the 3rd unit, gate level design, that gate level design will be implemented in the FPGA, because the field programmable gate arrays is nothing but we can implement the logical gates will be implemented in the FPGA designing. Nowadays we have to go for the FPGA is implemented in the system on chip design. So that is the especially used for the embedded system applications. We have to go for the FPGA applications. So in that FPGA application, we have to go for the different kinds of applications will be there. That is the floor planning, and next one is the placement. Okay, all those concepts will be implemented in the FPGA, field programmable gate arrays. So in that next one is the in that concept in unit 5, it is another concepts is there, that is the CMOS testing. CMOS testing. So this is the very important. CMOS testing is nothing but, okay, in VLSI design, CMOS is a very important fabrication process, complex metal oxide semiconductor. So it will be consisting of the NMOS as well as the PMOS technology. So how to testing? Suppose testing is nothing but we can identify the fault, whether it is properly working or not. So how to whether it is properly or working, or how to decide? So by using testing process, okay, we have to decide the properly that CMOS is properly working on. It is based upon the CMOS testing concepts will be introduced in the VLSI technology. So these all those are the brief introduction about the VLSI design. Just now we have to discuss about the basic all units of VLSI design. So that VLSI design is completely to the this design flow, because of whatever we have to study that units, okay, will be covered from this flow chart. So this is simply calling as a VLSI design flow. VLSI design flow. Already by the name itself, how to designing the VLSI structure in the applications. So first one we have to take the first concept is the system specification. System specification, here we have to take the what are the requirements we have to, okay, take for the what are the requirements we have to consider the in designing process. So in that case we have to go for the system process. And next one is the architecture design. So architectural design is nothing but we have to take the some specifications according to our requirement. Then what we can do, next step is the architectural design. Architectural design is completely related to the the physical structure of your application, physical structure of your design. So this is the architectural design. And functional design. Functional design is nothing but, okay, what are the functions will be included in the this one. So because here, so we can go for the logic design is there. Logic design is nothing but we have to go for the different logic gates, that is the AND gate is there, suppose AND gate, okay, OR gates is there, okay. So by using this one we can design the, suppose off adder full adder is there, so off adder full adder we have to designing, how to designing, okay. So by using this basic logical gates, the basic logical, by using this basic logical gates, by using this logical gates we have to designing the logic design. So after logic design, what are the functions, what are the function of logic design? So suppose we can go for the basic logic AND gate. So what are the function of this one, okay. Already we know that this is the whenever both inputs are 1 1, the output is 1, otherwise it is 0. So that is the condition, 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 condition is there, okay. This is the output, this is the basic logical gate. So 0 0 0 0 1, the what is the main function of AND gate? So this is the main functionality design. So we can go for the logical gate design before we know that the function of basic logical gates. So we have to consider the AND gate. So what are the function of AND gate? Okay, whenever the both inputs are 1 1, the output is 1, other condition it is a 0 condition. So this is the function of AND gate. So that is the functional design is there, and after that logical design. So whenever the function will be done, then after that we can designing the logical design. Logical design, by using logical gates we have to designing the logical design. And next we can go for the circuit design. So we have to go for the logic, basic logic gates will be considered, then the basic logical gates will be implemented in the our physical design, that is the circuit design is there. The circuit design will be implemented in the your application. And next one is the physical design. Physical design is nothing but we have to take the different components, where it will be placed, okay, where it will be placed and where it will be routed, okay, all those will be comes under physical design. And next concept is the fabrication. So fabrication already we have to discussed in the unit 1. So in fabrication, in every fabrication we have to consider the wafer is there, okay. Wafer is the one of the component. By using wafer, silicon wafer, we have to consider the fabrication process. So according to silicon wafer, and then finally we can getting the packaging and testing. Packaging and testing is nothing but simple, we have to whatever we have to fabricate the device, that will be packaged. And next one is the testing. Before we have to discuss about the CMOS testing. CMOS testing is nothing but simply we can testing the devices, it will be properly working or not. So all those concepts will be implemented in the this one. This is the very important, how to design a VLSI in a application. So this is the flow for any VLSI design circuit. So this is the mostly concerned the application development. So this is also one of the main important topic in the VLSI design. So these all are the main basic components and main blocks in the VLSI design. Okay. Next to final is the what are the applications of VLSI technology, because of this is very important where we can use in the VLSI. So because of in VLSI concepts is completely related to the IC industry, that IC applications especially used for the these kind of application. First one is the consumer electronics. Consumer electronics is nothing but we have to take the refrigerators, and next one is the washing machines, and next one is the microwaves. All those are the consumer electronics. So suppose in washing machine we have to go for the one IC is there. According to IC we have to write the some program into the IC. So the IC will be read from the data and it will be operated. So the IC is very important. So the IC is completely related to the VLSI design. So that is very important in consumer electronics. And MEMS and bioelectronics also we have to use for the VLSI design, and defense systems, and this is also very useful for the VLSI design. Aerospace, aerospace is nothing but here we have to go for the missile design. So suppose we have to go for the target functionality will be there, suppose radar applications will be there, radio detection and ranging, that is some frequency is there. So we have to identify the frequencies by using these technologies. In that also we have to go for the VLSI technology. And automotive is nothing but suppose we have to go for the vehicles, suppose we have to take the cars. In cars we can go for the automatic functionality will be there, that is completely related to the automotive. Example is the Wi-Fi is there, and next one is the some LCD displays will be also included in the automotive applications. And medical electronics, that is a completely related to the biomedical equipments. So biomedical equipments we have to go for the VLSI design also. And wireless and wireline, so wireless and wireline here we have to go for the suppose in wireless sensors we have to go for the mobile phones. So some equipments will be there, mouse, okay, suppose we have to take the mouse is there, in that mouse also some chips is there. So that is completely related to the wireless technology also implemented in the VLSI domain. So this is especially used in the fabrication, this is especially used in the IC technology. So by using IC technology we have to implemented all those applications, all those applications we have to use in the ICs. So that is the very important scope of VLSI. So these all those applications are we are implemented in the if whatever we have to go for the, suppose we have to go for the embedded system, we have to write some programming. At the same time VLSI design also we have to go for the some programming knowledge is there. So that programming knowledge will be implemented in the some tools. So this is the VLSI software tools are Xilinx version is there. Xilinx is the one of the software environment for developing of programmings, VHDL and Verilog. Suppose here we have to go for the two description language is there. This is the VLSI hardware description language. This hardware description language will be divided into two, that is the VHDL and Verilog. So these two are the hardware description languages. So very high description language and Verilog language will be there. According to these languages we have to implement it, we have to write some program to the chip. So in that Xilinx environment is very important, because we have to go for the, suppose already we have to discuss about the gate level design. In gate level design we have to write the small program for AND gate. How to write the small program for the AND gate? So by using HDL, VHDL and Verilog concept we have to write the program for AND gate, then we can execute in the Xilinx software. So this is a very important for the platform development for the hardware design. And next one here in software design we can go for the Mentor graphics also is there. So this is also one of the software tool in VLSI version. And next one here, the most important popular software is in VLSI design nowadays, Cadence is there. This is a very high costly tool. So this is also especially used for the implementation of VLSI circuits. By using these all those tools we have to designing and development of our applications. So this is the very important scope of software tools used in the VLSI design. Here this programming language is very important for the development of application. Suppose here VHDL Verilog is there. By using these two languages we have to implement by using these two programming language we have to implement it on the hardware boards. So suppose we have to take the AND gate, how to write the program in the VHDL part. So here we have to take the simple AND gate. We can go for the module. So this is the simple module A comma. So this is the input 1 comma input 2 comma output Z. So this is module A comma B comma Z. So here inputs A, input B, output Z, AND gate condition is there, AND gate A greater than B condition. This is N module. So this is the simple VHDL programming for Xilinx software version. So we have to write this programming, and we have to implement the simple AND gate, and we have to verify the test bench waveform. According to test bench waveform, we have to clarify your programming properly working or not. So that's why we have to go for this is the basic AND gate program for VHDL, basic AND gate VHDL program for implementation of Xilinx software version.